الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Find values of m so that the function y equals x to the m is a solution of the given differential equation. So we have this differential equation, x squared times y double prime minus 7x times y prime plus 15y equals 0. So we need to verify that this function y equals x to the m is a solution. Well, the differential equation involves the first and second derivatives, so we'll first find those. So y prime will be, well, since we have x to the m power, it will simply be m times x to the m minus 1 power. And then to find y double prime, we'll differentiate y prime. We'll take the power m minus 1 and multiply that by m, giving us m times the quantity m minus 1 times x to the m minus 2. And so then we'll plug everything into the differential equation. So we'll have x squared times y double prime. So that will be times m minus 1 times x to the m minus 2 minus 7x times y prime, which is m times x to the m minus 1, and then plus 15y, so 15 times x to the m, and that will be 0. So we'll simplify this. X squared times x to the m minus 2, that will simply be x to the m, and that will be multiplied by m times the quantity m minus 1. And then here, x times x to the m minus 1 will be x to the m. So we'll have minus 7 times x to the m times m. And then finally, we'll have 15 times x to the m, and that will all be equal to 0. And what we'll do next is we'll notice that x to the m is a factor of each term on the left-hand side. So we can factor out the x to the m, and what will be left will be m times m minus 1 minus 7m plus 15, and that will be equal to 0. And so we'll get x to the m, and we'll simplify the parts involving m. So m times m minus 1 will be m squared minus m, and then minus 7m plus 15, and that will be equal to 0. And so we'll get x to the m times, well, when we simplify this, we'll get m squared minus 8m plus 15 equals 0. And this m squared minus 8m plus 15, that can be factored. So that can be factored as m minus 3 times m minus 5. And so now we have these three factors being multiplied to give 0. Now, one thing we should note is that if x equals 0, that doesn't give us anything useful. So if we consider simply x values greater than 0, then x to the m is going to be greater than 0, which means that we can just consider these two factors, m minus 3 equal to 0 or m minus 5 equal to 0, giving us the solutions m equals 3 or m equals 5, telling us that, well, if our solution has the form y equals x to the m, then we'll have solutions y equals x to the third, as well as y equals x to the fifth power. So we've found the values of m so that y equals x to the m is the solution of the given differential equation, and the solutions will be y equals x to the third and y equals x to the fifth.